Hello children. So welcome back to another video tutorial, and this is the practice question series for chapter 6 of your science NCERT, that is tissue, and this is part 3 for class 9. It is being presented by me, that is Pooja Verma, your teacher. So let's get begin. So before we start, you basically need to use a sheet of a paper and a pen to answer these questions, and if you have done it wrong, give yourself +1, and if you done it wrong or unattempt the question, then give yourself a 0. Listen carefully to the explanation of the questions after attempting the questions, okay? And don't forget to tell your marks in the comment section below. So let's get begin. The first question over here is, a group of similar cells performing a particular function is, and your options are organ, B, tissue, body, C, tissue, and D, organ system. Take your time, take 3 to 4 seconds and mark the right answer. A group of similar cells, okay? So similar cell over here is the keyword. Performing a particular function is termed as, and here are your options. So I hope you have marked the right answer. The correct answer for this question is option C, that is tissue. So you know very well children that a group of cell, okay, that having similar origin, similar structure is termed as tissue, and this is a simple tissue, that is a different types of different cells is being arranged over here in a group, okay? So these are the cells. Moving forward, second question is, tissues do only a, and your options are A, particular function, B, multiple functions, C, both, and D, none. The simple thing which is asked is like tissue can do how many types of functions, like single function, that is particular function, or multiple function, that is performing more than one function at a time, or we can say it's like both or none. So take your time, mark the right answer. So the correct answer for this question is option C, that is both. Okay? Certain tissues are specialized to perform a particular functions, but in the body of plant and animals, we also observe certain tissues which are able to perform multiple functions. So we'll discuss in that in the chapter detail. Don't worry. Let's begin. Moving forward, we have third question. Do plant and animal contain the same type of tissue? And your options are yes or no. What do you think? That it's like plants and animals, just like green plants and we are also we are also an animal. So does we contain same type of tissue if we compare plants with the animal? What do you think? Yes or no? So yes, it's like whatever you think is correct. It's like no. Plant having a very different tissue, okay? Plant contains different types of tissue, and we categorize plant tissue in two important types, that is meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. In meristematic, we have 3 types further depending on the region where it is located, that is apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and the lateral meristem, and so on. In permanent, we have simple permanent, complex permanent. In simple, we again have parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. In complex, we have xylem and phloem. So all these aspects we have already covered in the chapter videos, chapter explanation video. If you did not watch that video, so go and check it out. Everything is it is in proper playlist available there in the playlist section. Okay? So in animal we have different type of tissue, that's like muscular, nervous, epidermis, connective. Okay, a lot of things were there. Next question. Question 4, that is, only some part of the plant grows while animals grows, and your options are proportionally, irregularly, indefinitely, and none. So here children, you just need to understand the actual meaning of each of the term, and you will be sorted out. Okay, it's nothing rocket science in that. Only some part of the plant grows while animal grows. Okay, so take your time, mark the right answer. So the correct answer for this question is option A, that is proportionally. Okay, moving forward, we have question 5. Group of dividing cells of plant are called, and your options are A, permanent tissue, B, meristematic tissue, C, vascular tissue, and D, none. group of dividing cells. Okay, so dividing cells over here is the key. Group of dividing cells of a plant are called. You know very well that group of cells is termed as tissue. So that is will be already we have covered. So group of dividing cells, that means what? The cells that is there in the tissue is dividing in nature. They have a tendency to divide continuously. So what are what's the correct answer? So yes, most of you have done it right. Absolutely. The correct answer for this question is option B, that is meristematic tissue. Children, you know very well, and it's like we have repeated it so many times, that meristematic basically is a type of tissue found in plant cell that constitute all the young cells, and those cells have a tendency to divide. It's like they very rapidly divide into one cells to another, then these two cells divide into another cells, and the cycle will go on like this. Okay? So here what we understand, actually the key is meristematic tissue is a group of young cells that have the capacity of active cell division. Okay, what are the characteristics? Everything we have already done in the chapter explanation. So depending on the region, that is we can say location, we have, it's like three important types of meristematic tissue, that is apical, intercalary and the lateral. Okay, moving forward, we have sixth question. Types of meristematic tissues are apical, intercalary and your options are A, vascular, B, epidermal, C, parenchymal and D, lateral. I think answer is in the previous question itself. So without any further ado, the correct answer for question 6 is D, that is your lateral meristem. Meristematic tissue, as I repeat again and again, is being categorized on the basis of the location of the tissue where it is present. That's like apical at the topmost apex, then we have intercalary, okay, at the nodes, and then we have lateral at the sides of it, like sides of root and stem. Next question we have. Seventh one. Mitochondria have dense cytoplasm with prominent nuclei and thin cell wall, but lack. It's like options are A, mitochondria, B, ribosomes, C, vacuoles and D, starch. Meristems that have dense cytoplasm, so it is the property of meristematic cells, obviously we know about this, and it also having a prominent nuclei, that is also we know, and thin cell wall, that is also we know, because they are actively dividing cell, but they lack. So what they did not contain, here the question actually wants to ask that they have cytoplasm, they have prominent nuclei and they have thin cell wall, because the cell are continuously actively dividing in nature, but which cell organelle is lacking? Options are mitochondria, ribosomes, vacuoles and starch. So take your time and mark the right answer. So the correct answer for this question is option C, that is vacuole. Now children, comment, it's like write in the comment section that what you know about the vacuoles. Okay, that the thing we have already done is like in the chapter explanation of chapter number 5, that is the fundamental unit of life. Okay, so as for here, I just told you that vacuole is basically responsible for food storage in case of the cell. Okay, and plant cell have very prominent vacuole as compared to animals. So but meristematic cells of the plants, it does not contain vacuole. That means that is not at all required for food storage. And why it is so, I have already explained you. Do it's like write down in the comment section. Okay, next question. Non-dividing cells produced from meristem are called, and your options are A, permanent tissue, B, bark tissue, C, epidermis and D, parenchyma. Here the key is non-dividing cells. Okay, non-dividing cells that is produced or that is being arising from the meristem. मेरिस्टेम से नॉन डिवाइडिंग सेल्स जब प्रोड्यूस होती हैं, जब वो बनती हैं, देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज, एंड हियर आर द फोर ऑप्शंस. So write it's like mark the right answer in this. So I hope most of you have done it right. So correct answer for this question is option A, that is permanent tissue. So children, this is it's like we have already done that in the chapter explanation. We have already know that what is permanent tissue and what is the basic difference between meristematic cells and permanent tissue cells. Okay, so basically plant cells have it's like having two categorization, meristematic, permanent. If we talk about permanent, so permanent is basically a type of tissue in which cells is like either stopped completely dividing or just for the time being. It's like growth is being restricted. Okay, growth is being restricted. यहाँ पे एक सेल से दो सेल्स उतनी आसानी से नहीं बनेंगी. The growth is being restricted, as we see in case of like permanent tissue. Permanent में the cells are actively dividing. So that is the reason when group of the cells that is being originated from non-dividing cells, that is being originated from the meristem, so that is termed as permanent tissue. I hope the things are clear to you. Next question. Permanent tissue takes a fixed shape, size and function after its formation. So we call them as totipotent, B. differentiated, C. lenticel, and D. cloned. Here the thing is like, this is very conceptual question, children. Permanent tissue takes a fixed shape. We know it very well. Then it is also having a fixed size, theek hai. It also having a very specific function and after its formation from the meristematic tissue. So what this is like, all these features, what is the process known as? And our options are totipotent, differentiated, lenticel, and cloned. Children, you know what, in MCQ question, what actually required is you need to understand. It's like if you're not getting, it's like you're not knowing the answer, then also you can able to mark the right answer just by using elimination method. Okay. So if you are aware about the term totipotent, lenticel, clone, differentiated, then it is quite easy for you to mark the right answer over here. So yes, as I have already explained you earlier, the correct answer for this question is option B, that is differentiated. Differentiation results in division of labor, that is specification of the cells. Categorization is like, it's like assigning them a particular specific task, that is the division of labor. If you haven't watched, it's like that video, so do watch it out. That is there in the playlist of chapter 5, that is the fundamental unit of life. There you can, it's like have an idea of the detail that what is the differentiation, what is the significance of it, how it is done, what is the resultant of it, and so on. Moving further, we have last question for the today is, there are two types of permanent tissue. One is simple permanent and the another one is, and our options are double permanent tissue, B. special permanent tissue, C. complex permanent tissue, and D. none. So I think this is also a very easy question for you. So take your time, mark the right answer. Okay, so I hope you have marked the right answer. The correct answer for this question is C, that is complex permanent tissue. I have told you multiple times that in case of permanent tissue, plants having two specific categorization, that is simple permanent and complex permanent. In simple permanent, we have parenchyma, we have collenchyma, and we have sclerenchyma. In case of complex permanent, we have xylem and we have phloem. And students, you know very well that xylem is being responsible for the conduction of water in case of plants, and phloem is responsible for the conduction of food. So xylem is like water and minerals over here from, it's like from xylem, and phloem is for food. Okay? So it's like this is all about for 10 basic MCQs for your chapter number 6, that is tissues. So don't forget to tell your score in the comment section below, whatever marks you have acquired. And thank you so much for listening. In case if you have any doubt, do let me know in the chat section below. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. God bless. Have an awesome day. Thank you.